Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars Starship Collection Executor or Executor Super Star Destroyer. It is set number 75356, comes with 630 pieces, and retails for $70. I gotta admit, I am very happy that LEGO brought in the Starship, or what was once called the midi-scale collection back into Lego Star Wars for about because it's been about over a decade since the last, well, technically the first mini-scale ships, those being a standard Imperial Star Destroyer and the Millennium Falcon came out for around the time of Lego Star Wars 10th anniversary. So yeah, it's been quite a while since mini scale has been around, but I'm glad Lego brought them back. It was a concept I was really hoping would, after the Millennium Falcon and Star Destroyer came out, I really thought it was a concept that was going to stick around, but I'm glad they finally brought it back. This thing looks pretty good, actually. My brother already had this set, and I'm glad I finally got myself a hold of it. The Super Star Destroyer looks good. Itself looks good on the box. So, which you can see the whole thing, the Super Star Destroyer, the two micro-scale Star Destroyers, which, if you guys remember, if you guys watched my review of the Lego Star Wars 2023 Advent Calendar, one of those actually showed up in the Advent Calendar. Plus, of course, the 40th anniversary Return of the Jedi plaque. So, just taking a look, this thing looks pretty fantastic. Looks good. This side view, with the overshot of this Super Star Destroyer, looks great as well. And on the back, you see it from another angle, along with comparing the Super Star Destroyer to the shot from Return of the Jedi when it is after it's been hit on the bridge and is getting ready to be destroyed. Plus, you see the dimension in the bottom right corner. You see the dimensions of the set, with it being 17 inches or 43 centimeters long, and about 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters tall, counting the display stand. This does have the push tabs, and so you do have to destroy the box in order to get it open. All right, let's see how many bags we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe 6 bags. Yep, 6 bags total. And here is your instruction manual. And one thing I'm liking, taking a look here, unlike most sets, this doesn't look like a CG render. This is just a copy-paste of the front box art, only with a white background instead of black. I like that. I wish they'd do that more often. Ooh, and then we got a little UCS breakdown of the set, as well as the usual paper bag ad, which, again, no paper bags, all plastic. So for the page on the Super Star Destroyer, we have a little intro from oh man, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his full name, but Jens, he's the creative director for LEGO Star Wars. It says, engineering excellence from the Galactic Empire. Being a part of our celebration for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, this warship needs no introduction. This impressive model is our latest version of the Super Star Destroyer Executor, an exceptional Galactic Empire aggressor. We first see its capacity with the Empire's victory over the rebels on Hoth under Darth Vader's command, and its shortcomings when it ultimately meets its end in the Battle of Endor. As a part of a new model concept, we created this special mid-scale display version and to capture the enormity of the Executor in a size that will still fit on your desk or a shelf without preventing you from pretend flying it through your house and adding your own battle stories to Galactic Empire lore. It does a nice noted that this was the latest version of the Super Star Destroyer, as we did get this as a UCS set a while back. Love to get a hold of that as well. Looks like we've got the same message in I believe those are supposed to be French and Spanish. And then we got a little bit of lore on the Super Star Destroyer itself, built by Quad Drive Yards. Darth Vader's Titanic Star Dreadnought measures 19 kilometers or 11.8 miles in length, with a capacity of 280,784 crew members, 38,000 troops and support staff. Armed with more than 1,000 turbolasers, missile launchers, ion and laser cannons, it transports up to 1,000 starfighters and hundreds of shuttles. A team of movie model makers created the scale model in just 7 weeks. Wow, that's pretty quick. To convey the unprecedented size of the Executor, the team etched tiny holes in brass plates to allow light to shine through the starship's exterior, creating the illusion of around 250,000 lights. Very creative. And one more on one last page each, we have the dark side is in the details. The idea for this model came from the 77904 Nebula B frigate, an exclusive recreated for the 2020 Comic-Con International, which, when it comes right down to it, it was just a debacle when it came to the release. It was meant as a one-off concept, a large-scale starship recreated in tabletop scale. It became hugely popular. That's one way to put it. And fans asked for more sets in the same category, so we're excited to share this set with Rebels, Jedi, and Sith Lords throughout the LEGO Star Wars galaxy. We even added a few surprises inside the model. Make sure you still feel the presence of the dark side as you build it. Pretty sure I know what one of those details is. So next up, we have a little instruction page on how to use the included brick separator, and it just goes straight into the build. Got anything in the back? Does not look like it. Nope, just your usual parts list. So yeah, no other sets advertised. So this looks like it's going to be a fun build. I'll go ahead and jump into the time lapse, starting right now. And here she is all done. That build took about, I'd say, about an hour, maybe hour and a half, nonstop. You may have noticed in the video that there were a few times I got a few things off. You'd be surprised how much a build can be off when you miss something by only about 1 or 2 studs. Anyway, she looks absolutely fantastic. First off, let's go ahead and start off with this 40th anniversary plaque for Return of the Jedi. I'm happy to say that both this and the name plaque are printed. There are no stickers in this set. Thank goodness. I don't want to think about how difficult it would be to get these stickers on with such small space. Anyway, I do like the fact that they do have that metallic sheen on it. Looks really good. It's just 2 pieces. This, I believe it's like it's a 1x4 by I think 2 or 3, so not all that big, and then a 1x4 tile on top. So yeah, nothing too big, but it looks really good. Next up, we'll go ahead and take a look at these micro scale Star Destroyers. They're sitting on these transparent pieces. I believe they're the same ones used in like the Avengers Tower and the Spider-Man No Way Home set. But for micro scale Star Destroyers, they actually look pretty good. And like I said, they're basically the same one as you see in the 2023 Advent calendar. I actually have that one right here. Now, there are a few differences. There's some color changes. They decided to move the bridge 1 stud forward, and on the bottom you can see that they use a regular 2x3 brick plate in dark gray instead of this modified is a 2x3 plate in light gray where you have the little curved end with the attachment on the front. With the curve on the front. But yeah, they're basically. But yeah, just with the exception of a few color changements, they are basically the same model. So yeah, so yeah, if you want, you could. If you had another one of these minifigure attachments and had that advent calendar, you could just attach this Star Destroyer and just add it to the fleet. But yeah, they look really good for micro scale. For the Star Destroyer, the Executor herself, she looks absolutely fantastic. The amount of greebling on this thing is kind of ridiculous, and it's just all over the place. I do like the good mix on the edge of tiled and studded. It gives a good mix. It's a good mix, a good aesthetic look to it. It's very professional, but still very much Lego. Oh, and again, the greebling on this thing is just crazy. They use so many pieces, so many different pieces as well, from regular bricks and plates to clips of all types, graded pieces, ingots, and they're just going all over the place. And you can just imagine what all this can be: communication equipment, weapons, shields, you name it, it's on it. And just kind of simple with the bridge. I'm kind of surprised they didn't have like another like 1x2 plate here on top to give that same conning tower look, okay, that it has like along with the regular Star Destroyers. Whereas personally, I probably would have done. Personally, I probably would have seen if I could find a way to do that. But it looks good either way. Like this thing is just the size of it is actually really good. Like it's like they said in the instruction manual. Like it's a good size, but it's still kind of but it's still small enough that if you want to swoosh it around a bit, play around with you can still do that. Actually, Solid Brick Studios, when he did his review on the new PlayScale Star Destroyer that's coming out in August, actually found that out to basically be about the same length. So if you got this thing, you got a good idea of how big that PlayScale Star Destroyer is going to be. Which I've heard people say that one seems a bit small for a PlayScale Star Destroyer, but also in that review, I know it's a bit off the going down a bit of a rabbit hole, but personally, I don't plan on picking that one up, and apparently, it's actually not all that much smaller than the other two PlayScale Star Destroyers. So for people saying that it's a bit small, it's actually not. I got a funny feeling it's going to be a real good size. So yeah, this thing looks really good. Basically from all angles, it was just absolutely gorgeous. Underneath, there's not a whole lot going on. I do like the fact that they left a bit of an empty space here to imply a hangar. Plus, you get some more greebling back here with the engine details. I do like the fact that they get all. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 13 engines on this thing, and in the correct positions, and set up with 3 groups of 3 and 2 groups of 2. So yeah, this thing looks gorgeous, and there is one nice little Easter egg inside. If you take off these 3 plates, you can access the. Let's see, there you go. You can take that section off, and you can see there's a couple of stacks of 1x1 plates. Let me take. There we go. I'm gonna get the other side off. There we go. So yeah, you see, there's a couple of 1x1 plate tile plates, and those are actually supposed to represent figures. Believe it or not, these are the 6 bounty hunters and Darth Vader. Darth Vader is right here on top. Over here you have Boba Fett. Let's see. This one is This one with the white and brown, that is Dengar. Over here you got Bosk. Zuckuss here with the gold and brown. And then let's see, one of these is IG88. And darn it, I forget who the sixth one is. Let's see. Forlom, that's his name, Forlom. So Vader, Boba, Forlom, Dengar, Bosk, Zuckuss, IG88. So yeah, nice little Easter egg there. And you do, like I showed, you do have to take the ship apart a good amount in order to, in order to even be able to see them. But it is nice that Lego threw in that little Easter egg for people who are in the know. Also, you may have noticed that the inside of the ship is very, very colored. Like you got a lot of, like you got various shades of green in there, browns, yellow, some blues, and of course the always have to hide this Lego Star Wars pink. So yeah, quite interesting. So yeah, quite interesting, and I believe it is. I actually haven't done this yet. So okay, so yeah, it's pretty easy to detach the ship from the display stand, which is, and display stand itself is actually pretty easy, pretty simple build. There's your printed tiles, shows Lego Star Wars and Executor. So it doesn't have Super Star Destroyer, but I can kind of see why it doesn't. That is a bit of a small space. It's like they could put like SSD, and I think they could have gotten, and I think that would have been just fine. But I can see how some people can maybe justify it needing like a figure, because for $70 for a display, a $70 display piece, is I can see why people would want a figure. Like I could think of two people, right off the bat for figures they could have done. That'd be Admiral Ozzo, the guy who was in charge of the Executor at the beginning of the movie that Vader chokes out, and then his replacement, Admiral Piet, who just takes over from Empire Strikes Back all the way to its destruction in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, I can, and on top of that, I could see where people would want figures for the other Starship Collection sets. Like for the Invisible Hand, you could have done General Grievous. Tented 4, I would probably have done a Rebel Fleet Trooper or Captain Antilles, and probably Han and Chewie for the Falcon. I mean, come on, it's the Falcon. What is she gonna do? But yeah, I can see why people would want figures can go with these. But with the exception of that, this thing is about as good as you could ask for a midi-scale Super Star Destroyer. I'm glad I'm glad I picked this up, and I'm once again glad that Lego is bringing midi-scale back into Lego Star Wars. I can think of quite a few more ships I would want to see in midi-scale. People have been talking about a Venator ever since instead the Starship line came out. I absolutely agree with that. I can think of like a Trade Federation battleship. I don't know how they do it at this scale, but I'd love to see a Mon Calamari cruiser from Return of the Jedi. Like, I wouldn't even mind a few ships from the sequel trilogy, like the First Order Star Destroyer or the Mega Star Destroyer, or maybe like the Profundity, Admiral Radiss's flagship from Rogue One. That would work well as well. So yeah, I can see quite a few other ships being made into this Starship scale. Or if you want, you could do like a Ghost at the same scale as the Millennium Falcon. That would be great. Anyway, that is my review for this set. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, everybody!